Howdy, folks. Today is Saturday, August 25. It's actually the third day of the Minnesota State Fair. Tomorrow, Linda and I are going to go. On Sunday morning, we'll hopefully get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. But business at hand right now. What I'm going to show you is just a little walkthrough on the house. We have all of the insulation in, with the exception, we have all the wall insulation in, and then this gable. And see what they do is they blew this in, and then there's a poly, 6 mil poly that goes over it. And so now all of our lights and our hammock, chair, hooks are all covered. They'll be obviously exposed once the drywall goes on, because we'll need to be able to see lights and the like. The one thing I'm a bit concerned about is I left the bulbs in from when I used to illuminate this, but nevertheless that'll get taken care of. So we chose to put in some insulation to deaden the sound between the rooms, and that's why you see all the walls, the interior walls are that way. There's no poly that should go on that. They covered the windows, which is good, because when we do the spray painting later on in the fall, we're going to have to cover windows anyways. So this is the great room that we're in. There's the wall that Ed had put up the other night. So it's starting to look like a house. Over here, you see there is no insulation up above there yet. You can see through the poly. You can see the roof trusses and the like. So Ed, the drywaller, will come through and he'll put his drywall up over this. And once the whole house is drywalled, and that'll be the ceiling and the walls, then our insulators will come back and they'll get up into the attic. Now you're probably wondering how they're going to do that. Well, you remember maybe 3 months ago, I was showing you that I made an access to the attic, and that's right here. I've got about 2.5 feet of framing and plywood, so that they can get up through that hole. And this is out in the garage, the poly that's out here. Once Ed comes and puts up all the drywall on the walls and the ceiling and tapes it and muds it, then what we'll be able to do is then have the garage door people come and install our 2 sets of garage doors and openers. Over there, I have to make the door open, the door for the service door. So back into the house, mud room. Obviously, we don't need insulation to deaden the sound between that. This is the living room area. Over there will be the fireplace. Over here, more social area, I guess. Dining room. We'll hang our chandelier right here. Right here is the light for the chandelier. Again, the feature area. You can see that's all been spray foamed up there. The back of all this drywall has been spray foamed. We did that because we wanted to get a nice tight seal, and just felt that we needed a lot up there. So that's been done. The entryway, everything looks a lot cleaner because we've got things picked up. But you see they insulate or spray foamed there and there. Filled up all these joints with, oh, that's wet, with caulk. did the this is the closet in the mother-in-law room. There they plugged that. You can see a bunch of foam over here. You know, they foamed this to give us a seal. In this corner, they've got a lot of caulk in here. All the you know, like all this to seal the poly. You see that line? That's caulk, and the poly is pushed up against it. This is, like I said, the mother-in-law room. This is the bathroom for that. It'll be a walk-in shower, stool, and then right over here will be the sink. So I'm real pleased with it. You know, when you look at with this insulation in the walls, it starts to look more like a room. This is where the prep sink is, or bar sink, whatever you want to call it. And then over there, we've got the stuff around it. That's where the double sink will be. This will be our pantry. This will be a utility closet. It's pretty dark. Another bathroom, laundry room here. Down there will be the third bedroom upstairs, and then its closet. Here's the master bath. So like I say, again, you know, remember we've been looking at stud walls before. This will be the master closet. It looks like it's going to be 32, 64, 96, about 12 feet, 96 and 32. Let's say it's going to be about 13 feet long and probably about 8 feet wide. This is the master. You know, I think they maybe did this just to be funny with their little stars, but like I say, when we paint, we're going to want to cover the windows. Yesterday, I put in these two studs. And the reason is up above there's what they call a girder stud and a girder joist, and that really carries is doing a big part in carrying the roof line. So building inspector said I'd like to see a couple more studs in there. So what I did is I used liquid nail on the back of this and the back of this, and then I screwed it. There you can see a screw. So there's nothing going to move this thing. So we are ready for Ed the drywaller on Monday. The building inspector is coming. He'll look at what they did on the insulation, and then he'll check those couple of boards that I had there. Oh, you know, to work out on the deck, I wanted to get some, well, I'll call it a scrap plywood out here. And so this is the deck. So it's 55 feet long. It'll go out 12 feet. We'll have a railing that comes across here. And that piece, that 4 feet that goes out beyond that, that'll be like a pergola, because down below we'll have another ground level deck, and that'll go out, that'll sort of start about where that window is and go out, and then the pergola on the other side of the railing for this deck, and it'll go over to where the end of the deck is here. Now the reason I wanted this, I wanted some plywood up here, and I'm going to have to put more up, is I've got a lot of soffits that I got to build out, and I will use this as my staging so that I can frame windows and doors, and then do the siding for this. This is going to be a lot easier than getting up and down on those 24-foot ladders. Yesterday, we sent the mini excavator back. You can see the hole that we've dug down at the end. I mean, we had a gully washer of a rainstorm. I wouldn't doubt that we had maybe 2 inches yesterday. But we had dug that hole with a mini excavator and then put some piping in to handle the water from the downspouts, as well as along the foundation. When we built that out, we put in some corrugated plastic piping that's in a cloth sock. In fact, out there you can see what some of that looks like. Right there you can see the black, part of the black, and then the rest of it's actually wrapped in fabric. So we have that hooking up to what had been out here for that drain tile, they call it. And then we put a fitting on so that would fit onto this, and we ran it all the way out, and it comes out. All of this stuff will exit down there where that is. In fact, I think you can probably see 1, 2, and there's actually a third pipe that comes out. We'll do the same thing over here. So that's about it. That's sort of a recap of what we did on Thursday and Friday, and a recap of what the insulators did on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The insulators left here yesterday about noon. So it's been a big week. All this excavating for the drainage was sort of unexpected but necessary, because we have we got to get this done before the winter, because I'm going to be getting eave troughs in here as soon as I possibly can. So thanks for following our progress. As always, I appreciate it. You following it and any feedback you give us. Thanks. Bye.